gorillas behave so much like us humans? Well, pull up a chair, get comfy, and let's dive into the curious case of gorillas. Just like us, gorillas have a social structure that would give any high school clique a run for their money. They live in groups known as troops, led by the silverback, the gorilla equivalent of the high school quarterback, but with a bit more fur and a lot more muscle. And just like us, they have their fair share of drama. Gorilla troop politics can be as intense as the final season of your favorite TV show. What's more, gorillas, like humans, are tool users. That's right, they don't just rely on brute strength to get by. They're known to use sticks to gauge water depth, crush leaves into sponges to soak up water, and even use rocks to crack open nuts. And you thought you were crafty when you used a hanger to unlock your car, and let's not forget about their emotional expressions. Gorillas laugh when they're tickled, cry when they're hurt, and even throw tantrums when they don't get their way. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? But it's not all similarities. Take a look at a typical day in a gorilla's life. It involves eating, resting, and more eating. Oh, and did we mention the part where they get to lounge around in the sun all day? Makes you rethink that 9-to-5 grind, doesn't it? But before you start envying their lifestyle, remember this. They also have to deal with pesky insects, territorial disputes, and the occasional leopard. So maybe, just maybe, our human problems aren't so bad after all. So next time you're feeling a bit primitive, remember, our gorilla friends might just be out there feeling the same way. Ever seen a group of gorillas huddled together and thought, I wonder what they're gossiping about? Well, let's dive into the intriguing social dynamics of these fascinating creatures. Gorillas, like us, are highly social animals. They live in groups, known as troops, which can range from a handful to over 30 members. And within these troops, they communicate in a variety of ways. Now, imagine if we could translate those grunts, hoots, and chest thumps. Picture this, a sunny day in the jungle, and there's Gary the gorilla casually munching on his favorite leaves. Suddenly, Greg the gorilla strolls by, displaying his impressive silverback for all to see. Gary grunts, perhaps exclaiming, "Hey, look at Greg showing off again. Thinks he's the king of the jungle, doesn't he?" And then there's Greta the gorilla, the troop's wise old matriarch. She's seen it all, experienced it all, and she's not afraid to share her wisdom with the rest of the troop. A series of low hoots might just be her version of, "Back in my day, we didn't have these fancy termites, we had to make do with plain old leaves." But it's not all fun and games. Gorillas like us have their disputes too. When tensions rise, they might resort to chest thumping, not unlike our human version of a heated Twitter debate. Perhaps it's over who gets the best sleeping spot or who has the most followers. I mean, the biggest troop. So whether it's sharing the latest jungle news, gossiping about Greg's over-the-top displays, or resolving the occasional dispute, gorillas, in their own way, are quite the social butterflies. Their methods of communication might not involve smartphones or social media platforms, but they're incredibly effective nonetheless. These complex social interactions help to form strong bonds within the troop, ensuring their survival in the wild. Who knew the jungle might just be the original social media? What do you think a gorilla's favorite snack is? A banana? Think again. Now, it's easy to picture a gorilla munching away on a banana, but that's more cartoon than reality. Gorillas have a more diverse diet than most of us humans. They're the original foodies of the animal kingdom, and they don't even need a Yelp account. Consider this. While we're munching on potato chips, gorillas are out there enjoying a leafy green salad. They're the embodiment of clean eating, really. The majority of a gorilla's diet actually consists of leaves, stems, and shoots. They're the poster children for plant-based diets long before it was considered hip. But don't worry, they do have a sweet tooth. Gorillas enjoy fruits just as much as the next person. Or should we say the next primate? However, fruit makes up only a small portion of their diet. So, those images of gorillas sitting around all day gorging on bananas? Yeah, that's purely fictional. Hollywood, we're looking at you. And let's not forget about insects. Yes, you heard me right. Gorillas sometimes snack on ants and termites. It's their version of a protein shake, I guess. But before you cringe, remember, we humans have our own guilty pleasures too. Who hasn't indulged in a midnight snack of leftover pizza or a sneaky tub of ice cream? So, you see, the gorilla's diet is varied and balanced. They're not just about the bananas, they're about the greens, the occasional fruit treat, and the even more occasional insect. And they do it all without a single cooking show, diet book, or food pyramid in sight. They're nature's nutritionists, really. And there's a lesson in there for all of us, isn't there? Next time you reach for a bag of chips, maybe consider a nice crunchy carrot instead. Or, if you're feeling adventurous, how about some ants? Looks like we could all use a leaf out of the gorilla's cookbook. You think your gym workouts are tough? Try being a gorilla for a day. Now, before you start scratching your head, let's dive into the world of gorilla fitness. When we talk about physical abilities, gorillas are the Arnold Schwarzeneggers of the animal kingdom. They can lift nearly 1,000 pounds and jump almost 40 feet. Yes, you heard that right. They're the ultimate beast mode champions. Imagine, if you will, a gorilla's daily workout routine. No need for fancy gym equipment or a personal trainer shouting, "One more rep!" Their gym is the wild, and their routines, well, they're as natural as it gets. A typical gorilla workout might include some heavy lifting, like uprooting a tree perhaps, followed by a quick sprint to catch up with the family. And let's not forget the ultimate gorilla abs workout, the belly drumming session. Now let's compare that to our gym struggles. We huff and puff lifting weights, half of which probably weigh less than a baby gorilla. And don't get me started on the treadmill. 10 minutes in, and we're gasping for breath, clutching the handlebars like our lives depend on it. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. We've got something the gorillas don't have, the post-workout protein shake. Gorillas? They just munch on some leaves and call it a day. No fancy post-workout meals for them. So who's got the better deal, really? And remember, while we're trying to get that perfect summer body, gorillas are just, well, being gorillas. They don't care about six-pack abs or bulging biceps. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're strong because they need to be, not because they want to be. So next time you're in the gym, struggling with your last rep, just think about a gorilla out there doing gorilla things. And if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will. So if you're ever feeling lazy, just think about the gorilla doing gorilla things. Ever thought about what life lessons we could learn from gorillas? You'd be surprised. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of gorilla wisdom. Yes, you heard that right. Gorilla wisdom. You're probably thinking, what could I possibly learn from a gorilla? Well, pull up a tree stump, folks, because class is in session. First off, let's talk about patience. You know that feeling when you're waiting for your favorite show to drop a new episode and it feels like an eternity? Well, gorillas are masters of the waiting game. They spend hours foraging for food, peeling it piece by piece, savoring each bite. They don't have fast food joints or microwave dinners. They teach us to slow down, take our time, and enjoy the simple things in life. Next up, family values. Gorillas are not about the solo life. They live in groups called troops, led by a dominant male, the silverback. They share responsibilities, protect one another, and even have playtime. It's like a never-ending family reunion, but without the awkward small talk. It shows us the importance of community and sticking together. And let's not forget about their respect for nature. Gorillas don't litter. They don't drive gas-guzzling SUVs or leave the faucet running while they brush their teeth. They live in harmony with their environment, taking only what they need. It's a lesson we could all take to heart, especially when our planet could use a little TLC. But what's the fun in all this wisdom without a few laughs? Imagine trying to explain to a gorilla why we spend hours staring at a tiny screen, or why we argue over which way the toilet paper roll should face. It's a reminder not to sweat the small stuff and to find humor in our own human follies. So, next time you're in need of some sage advice, you might want to look to our gorilla gurus. They may not have the answers to all of life's big questions, but they sure do know a thing or two about living life to the fullest. And isn't that the greatest wisdom of all?